So today what we're going to do is we're going to make a knife out of a railroad spike. Normally, I use a high carbon railroad spike like this one right here. I buy these things off of eBay. They cost me about $1, sometimes $2 a piece, but they're in real nice shape. And I prefer to buy my spikes as opposed to going out and basically stealing them like pretty much everybody else is doing when you're out walking on the railroad tracks pulling up spikes. Today, however, we're going to use a different spike. I'm going to use this spike right here. I actually found this spike on the property that we're on now, and it was holding a tie plate onto a railroad tie that's being now currently repurposed as a landscaping timber. What really makes this spike unique is I know exactly the year it was made. It doesn't have any markings on it whatsoever, but I know exactly the year that this thing was hammered into the ground, or hammered into the railroad tie. And the reason I know that is because the tie had a nail in it. It had a date nail, 1929. So it's pretty safe to say this is going to be from around 1929, 1930. And I figure it probably came out of, one of the old mines around here, or, some old railroad that they disassembled years ago. And it's made its all the way out here to Iron Road today, and we're going to make a knife out of it. Well, first thing I got to do is light my forge up. This is a Majestic propane forge. They make it real nice because you can light this thing and be forging in 5 minutes. I love these things. I don't do a lot with coal, so this is pretty much the main way that I do things around here. So we'll get this thing lit. We'll let that thing warm up for a couple minutes and then we'll put this thing in there. Got a lot of rust and scale on this thing. We're going to clean all that stuff off first thing. On the next heat, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and straighten the spike up here on the anvil. We'll be doing most of our work on the power hammer over here. That's a little giant power hammer. When the hammer head goes up and down, it's like swinging a 25-pound hammer as opposed to a 1 or 2 pound hammer that most of us humans are used to swinging. straight that is now? Yeah, that would hurt. That's 25 pounds coming down on your fingers right there. See, I'm spreading the metal with that cross peen hammer. See all these marks where it looks destroyed? That pushes the material outward. We're going to straighten this curve back out. As we thin out one side, it'll have a tendency to want to curve. We just have to hammer that right back out. See, I'm spreading the metal with that cross peen hammer. See all these marks where it looks destroyed? That pushes the material outward. Got a little twist going more one way than I want, so we'll probably straighten that up in a vise. Alright, we're going to straighten this blade up with the handle. Tighten it like that. I'm just going to take a wrench on there. I'm going to twist it till I feel it's where I want it. Now we're going to straighten the handle up a little bit. Looks like a New Mexico sunset inside my forge. Alright guys, we're going to grind the profile of the blade on our railroad spike knife. Usually when I do these, I usually polish the head up. But since this spike is so old and it's got a little bit of a unique head, it's definitely different than the older heads that, or the younger or newer spike heads that I run across. They usually got something stamped on them, and I really like the profile of that, so I'll probably just hit that with a wire wheel, make it look real pretty. But right now we're just going to kind of shape the knife and put a little edge on it and see how that looks. I'm going to use this bad baby right here. This is my knife making sander by Grizzly Industries. They are fantastic. I gave about $500 for this thing. One of the best investments I ever made. It made me so much faster at doing this stuff. Got a nice little bevel on there. Need to sharpen it up a little more. But basically that's it. This is what I call an economy knife. I sell these for about $40 a piece. If you want a sheath, that's another $20. And you know, these make real good gifts. The one thing you'll notice is that I didn't heat temper this blade. I didn't, you know, quench it to harden the blade. And there's a reason I did that, and that's because this is just mild steel. This is what I call a novelty knife. This isn't something you're going to take out into the bush and try to survive with. You're going to pull this out of a box of neat things you have, and you're going to show it to people. You might use it to pry open some paint cans, or dig a hole in a garden, or you can cut rope with it. You know, you can sharpen it up as good as you want, but it's really pointless to try to temper this because it's mild steel. And you wouldn't use this material to begin with to make a real knife out of. So, you know, basically, I just say, why even add this process to it? You know, we know this is a novelty knife. So, you know, if we want something, I mean, you could take these knives and you can turn them into $400 or $500 knives, you know. But I always say, what's the point? You know, you're limited on what the material is. Even the high carbon steel railroad spikes, they may say high carbon, but it's not really high carbon steel. It's just a higher carbon version of the material that they use for the particular spikes. So I don't know why they use high carbon and then low carbon. Makes no sense to me, but it is what it is. So it's a fun little knife. Like I say, I sell them about $40 a piece. If you want something a little nicer, we can put more time in it. We can make it into whatever you want, you know. I always advise people against, don't put $500 into this thing, you know. I don't want to do $500 worth of labor on something like this. So you just don't want to do that to begin with. So, but I'm Mike at Archangel Forge. Make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube page, A Kentucky Man. And I'm on Instagram as Motorcycle Mike USA. You can find me as Michael Patterson on Facebook. So I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you enjoyed this little demo.